One of the big misconceptions about being an actor in New York is that it's a tough town. And it is. It is in the respect that there's a lot of competition. There are a lot of actors here and not as many jobs. The other misconception is that you have to develop a tough skin. And I think it's much better to focus on being resilient. I think it's good to be positive. I think that it's good to keep your focus on the work and not on the results. Because I really do believe that if you love what you do and you do it with passion and with commitment, that a byproduct of that will be success. And I think that's where a lot of people's focus is on the I want to be famous, and it should be much more about just the love of the community and love of theater, love of the work. I mean, there are a lot of disappointments in this business, you know, I'm not going to lie about that. There are, you know, and also I think one of the misconceptions also is the best audition gets the part, and that's rarely true. There's so many other factors involved. The chemistry with the other actors in the play is a factor. Chemistry with the director and the playwright. Maybe your resume, what kind of credits you have on your resume can be a factor. Whether or not you've worked with the director and the playwright before. So there's so many other factors, and it's I say this all the time, but it's true. The best audition rarely gets the part.
It's a great big world out there when you go outside. Such a big world out there. Get on and ride.
The casting process for Saved was very interesting. That took about 1.5 years. With some trial and error. There were, I think, 3 or 4 29-hour readings. And there were some cast changes along the way until we finally came up with the cast that we came up with. And I was very happy with that cast. It was a real labor of love. I loved that piece. And I was really happy to be part of it. And it continues. They're doing it in Chicago now.
2 peas in a pod. 2 peas in a pod.
I can spend 5 days just bringing people in, all different types, and I try to get a sense of who this person is, what their their physicality is, what their emotional makeup is, what they bring into a room. And the first audition is always very informative for me because I try to bring in what I think is right, and then I'll throw in some wild cards. Some people are completely the opposite of what we've discussed maybe in casting meetings. Then I see what the reaction is of the director and the playwright. And then that will help me to think of other people. I just cast Boleros for The Disenchanted. It was very interesting because everybody said there's no way we can cast this play in 2 days because the characters are all so interesting and different and mercurial, and this is going to take a long time to find just the right people. We did it in 2 days, 1 day of auditions and a day of callbacks. So you never know. Sometimes you nail it the first time, but that's rare. And that's why, again, I was talking about the luxury of being a casting director here, is I do have the facilities and the staff and the time to cast a wide net and see a lot of different people.